Hi everyone, today we're going to learn how to colorise a scanned image. I might revise a few things you will already know from other sessions. Perhaps you haven't done any sessions yet. I'll revise quickly, but I'll be moving a bit quicker so we can get to the details of colorising a scanned image. Okay, Z for zoom, or as we know, zoom down here on the tools palette. If you hover over quickly, you can see zoom tool, tells you what it is, and in brackets it tells you the shortcut. It is much quicker. If you want to zoom out, alt for out to make it a minus, and you can zoom out. Of course, we need to rotate this canvas. If you want to change that, you need to go to images, image, and this is counterclockwise, CCW, 90 degrees. Now we have our picture up the right way. Zoom out a bit so you can get the whole image in the tutorial area. If I travel to the layers palette over on the side here, I have only that background image there. I want to duplicate that because I don't want to touch that original. I want that as saved completely separately. So I've always got a copy of this, and there's an email coming in. I'm going to hide this. To hide a layer, we take away the I, hover over it, tells us that, indicates layer visibility. Okay. Now I don't want to work on this either. I want to colorize this, but I don't want to work on this. And most likely, if you were working with me at my school here, you would have scanned at the library. That may have been a black and white scan. Just to check to see, I know this one is, so we're going to go up to image and mode, okay? You don't need to know too much about this, but if it's not colorizing, if you've got a scanned image and it's not changing the color and you can't colorize on top of it and put color on top of it, you might go here, image, mode, and it says grayscale and that's ticked. Well, let's change it to RGB, that's fine. And let's don't merge. We want to keep those two separate layers. Okay, it would have joined those layers if we had asked for merge. Now, I want to colorize on this, but I don't want to do it on this layer because it's will erase and go over that image. I want to be able to manipulate it if anything goes wrong. I can change and rearrange and recolorize, and it won't affect anything. So if I hover over this, I can create a new layer by clicking this. I'll just quickly delete this one, drag it into the rubbish bin. Any layer you don't want anymore, you drag into the rubbish bin. I will go up here, layer, new layer. And just okay, I will name that, I'll name that color. Okay, I'll probably be doing a lot of different different colors on this and many layers with that color, but we'll just start with the one. So, normal, this means if I use, for instance, a brush and draw on this here, it's going completely over our drawing, and of course we want to colorize it so we have our original drawing, all those hours that we drew it, we want to be able to see it, so I can change this from normal to multiply. Now we can see through that. Quickly, to delete that, I'm going to just use this marquee tool, drag it over, delete. Okay, I must make sure I'm on the right layer, it has to be on that one. If it's blue, it's highlighted, and you're working on that one, that's active. Now, if I want to go back in time, we can do Control Z, like everyone knows. To undo, we can go Edit, Undo, and it says here Command for the Apple, of course. But for Photoshop, you need to see your history window. So windows are here. You can see the colors open, and that's regarding this. You can see the layers open, that's regarding this. Our options, I'm going to just ignore that, and our tools here, that's regarding this. Of course, this one here is our actual image. It's very important to have your color, your layers, your tools, and especially your history open at all stages. So I'll just go back, and I can go back each step that I've done. If you save, these will delete, and you'll just start again. Okay. So now I want to colorize this. There's many ways of doing this. I can use And for this tutorial, primarily we'll be using this polygonal lasso here. It's L for lasso in brackets. If I hold down the mouse, the right button on the mouse, I'll get all these other options. This one is a polygonal lasso, and that's what we're going to use. I'm going to zoom in and show you how we're going to use it. This tutorial may seem detailed, we're almost done. I can get this lasso, I'm going to just drag this across so I can see it a bit better. Get this lasso here, I'm going to click here and basically go over this wall area. Now I can fix that a bit later, you'll see that I've gone near the seat there, I've gone over something. Fix that later. I can highlight that area. These are just completely straight lines. I'm creating a polygonal shape there. Now I want to choose either a gradient, G for gradient tool. If I hold the mouse down, I have a paint bucket here. Now gradient, if you don't know, if I just go up a bit, you'll see here, that's the gradient. I can get different options from red to nothing, from red to black. At the moment it's red to black, and that's because if you look down at the bottom of the tools palette, we have foreground color, we have background color. Okay, I'm going to change this to a darker red. We don't need to go black. Just to show you as an example, drag this across the area that you want. You'll need to play around with this, it won't work perfectly the first time. And we're fading to dark. Okay, we've got a bright red wall, fading darker as it goes into the interior of this image here. Okay, I'm just going to quickly undo that. Go back to the paint bucket. If you just want flat color, you can just fill that flat color like so. Now you can continue with the lasso, making sure we're on this layer. Do not get confused and put it on that layer. If it does, it's not a massive deal, but just keeps things much clearer for you if you want to change things later on. And okay. You'd see there's a little circle there at the end. I'll just do that again so you'll see. That means that path is going to be closing, okay? That you're actually touching the tip of the starting point. There it is, okay? So I click now, and that's the thing. This I'm going to use, maybe flip that around using this one here. So now the background colors become the foreground, and paint bucket that. So you can continue painting using this technique. Another way is, and I'm just going to hide this layer, create another layer, and I'm going to colorize here using a different technique, the magic wand tool. Down here, magic wand tool, W for wand. Sometimes you might have to hold that, that might be the default for some reason on the computers. Sometimes the quick selection is the default. We want to use the magic wand, select that one. If I click onto the image layer, the actual image layer, not the colorized one, this is normal. I just remind myself I have to change that to multiply. So I need to be on that one there. Then I can use the magic wand, and you can see that it's selected just that area. If I select there, you can see the lines aren't joined completely, so it bleeds through this area, and you probably just wanted this area. The majority of the time, that's you need to check if it's going to work or not in that way. You can make it less sensitive, so if I make that 15 for instance, it's maybe, no, it still goes all the way through. Sometimes if the lines are just touching, or this I'll come back to, won't worry about that. I'll just put it back to 24, doesn't really matter. Okay, so I can just select that. It's much easier than the lasso tool, that's correct. Highlight a different color, I'm going to go even darker here. Put it on that actual layer that you want it on, and then you can fill that area. So I'll just do that again, magic wand tool, select an area on, not like I just did, on the drawing itself, and then you can fill that, or use the gradient, whatever you want. Make sure you put it back on there. It's very easy to magic wand and then dump it onto this area. Make sure you go back to this new layer and dump it there. Okay, if I don't like any of this, I might, or unsure, if I'm unsure, you just hide it and you make a new layer. Okay, so I've got these two layers here, and so you can see how, if I zoom out, without too much fuss, you can paint over the whole thing. For instance, if I just quickly grab the whole roof area, there's a lot more you can do with this. This is the very basics, and I'm working quickly. this is a good start for your knowledge here. I can maybe choose, I'm going to choose a brownish wood roof. That's going to be the background. I'll just select a similar colour but lighter. Okay, gradient tool rather than the paint bucket, hold down the mouse, get the gradient tool out, then drag it like that, and we have something like that. It's fairly basic stuff. Well, that's how you colorise. You can also do this for black and white photos. You can, of course, with black and white photos, because of this multiply, which is incredibly important in this to remember the multiply on the colorise layer, that you can colorise in black and white photos. Okay, it's very interesting for that. Thank you. Hope you got something out of this, and there'll be another tutorial soon.